It's early morning, St. Johns County. I'm the Philosopher Pirate, and this is Florida at Large. Folks, this one's the last couple videos. I was really looking tired. I start my day around 1 a.m., sometimes midnight, and I work on this computer right here. Thank you very much for the keyboard. This is a very kind gift. I intend to repay all of my gifts. Like I say, I just activated a Give, Send, Go campaign. Apparently, many people who are more right-wing conservative don't like to give to campaigns that are on GoFundMe. I just recently discovered that. I guess GoFundMe has done some partisan political. I don't know. Folks, I don't really care. Whoever wants to help me, I appreciate it, and I will repay the favor. I don't know what else to say, but anyways, I'll include a link. I'm going to include a link, and if you don't want to go through these stupid fundraising sites, don't do it, folks. The buy me a coffee thing works just fine. It works easily with a credit card. Doesn't require any crazy questions or setup. I understand. If you want to donate to some of these, they ask you for all this information before you make the donation. One thing I want from you folks is if you want me to repay you, provide a means of contact and don't display it publicly. If there's a little box to check, please check that box. But let me know what your email is, or send me an email. Send me a message letting me know you made the donation at the time you made it. I don't want to be trying to figure stuff out later. I'm going to repay everyone. I don't plan on being broke and destitute forever. I plan on getting back on my feet. I had someone comment to me on one of my YouTube videos yesterday, and I'm on Rumble also. I should have been on Rumble all along, folks, because I think YouTube has been suppressing me. Okay, I'm getting more reach on Rumble, and I'm getting more responses, and people are contacting me. And I'm beginning to wonder about YouTube. Okay? Anyways, but I appreciate everything YouTube has done for me and allowed me to get exposure and so forth. But I'm having my doubts. You're welcome to donate. Please donate. It's a loan as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to get back on my feet again, folks. Even if I lose $80,000 to $100,000 worth of storage and inventory for a couple $1,000s, folks, that's what's actually happening. Because I guess people don't trust me. But anyways, this fellow, I'm not even sure if it was male, I should say, this individual, or how they identify, where they're going to be identifying as someone who was questioning, my veracity, my validity, and that's good. We should all question everything. And privately, I'm willing to disclose anything to you folks, the details of my case, anything. I just don't want to make it public at this point because I am in negotiations with a state agency. Okay. And that doesn't mean I'm going to become a millionaire. We may fail the negotiations and I will file a suit on my own so that I don't miss the statute of limitations. If they insult me and I shouldn't even say this publicly, I'll leave it at that. Anyways, he says, why don't you pawn your van since you own it outright? Well, folks, I do own the van outright. If someone wants to loan me $5,000 to $10,000 right now, I will add a lien to the title on this van to them. And the only thing I ask is give me till the end of December to pay back the loan. Because if I can save my storage units, I can sell the inventory and belongings that I no longer will need for the rest of my life, because I'm changing my lifestyle, obviously. It will easily pay back the loan, and I will be happy to pay back a reasonable interest rate. It means, 15% would be fair. Okay, I would prefer something less, but I will pay back the loan and any expenses in the transfer that are reasonable, $100 or whatever. And I'm willing to have the loan recorded. I don't care. This fellow was offering, he's basically saying St. Mary's, Georgia. There's a pawn shop there. Folks, I'm not going to pawn it at 38% per month. on a monthly basis and then lose my van. Okay, that pawn shop option is not, you know, my arm is injured right now. I'm not going to be able to sell things that quickly in my storage units. Plus, I can't even travel to them, and I need the van fixed. So if someone's able to loan me the money, I will fix the van immediately. That'd be my first priority. And of course, simultaneously paying all the storage units till the end of September. Okay, and then basically at that point, any extra monies I will use to rent a vehicle and start selling what I have in the storage unit while this van is being fixed, being repaired. And then I'll fight with Progressive along the way. And when Progressive pays the claim, I can reimburse myself basically, and that will allow me to pay back the loan. And I may sue Progressive. I'm not embarrassed to say that at this point. I am extremely frustrated with them. And I get so sick of these politicians, like Governor DeSantis. Oh, we're reducing insurance rates, and Attorney General Othmeyer, the same crap. I don't even know why he's talking about insurance, unless he's planning on running for governor. It's not in his purvey, I think is the correct word. I left this penny here to remind me. It reminds me of a good friend, a really good friend. He has stuck his neck out, and he's not rich by any means. Folks, no rich person has helped me. And, I was one of those people, more libertarian-minded when I was younger and say, when's the last time you ever got a job from a poor person? That mantra, that Ayn Rand. And I like Ayn Rand, by the way. Great idea. But, folks, in this situation I've been in, not one single person of means, has any little bit of political power, has any money, has helped me. Not one. Not one billionaire, not one multimillionaire, not one has helped me. The only people who are helping me are people that are struggling themselves. Folks, we have a contorted society. There are rich, powerful people who want to hold on to everything, and they only share it with each other. George Carlin said it best. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. I'm not in it, obviously. Because if I was in that big club, they'd help me out. They're not. Okay? Simple as that. Folks, my life, I have helped so many friends. I loaned an ex-girlfriend back a long time ago a lot of money. She was involved in an ex-girlfriend, by the way, involved with another guy after me, had no intimacy or whatever. I loaned her a significant amount of money. She only provided 2 payments because she ended up getting pregnant and her life became a lot more complicated, and she never was able to get back on her feet enough to pay. You know what, sir? I forgive her. I loaned another ex a whole bunch of money for a home improvement. She paid me back every dime. Okay. Folks, the reason why I'm saying this is I have been kind even to my exes and generous beyond belief. And this particular friend, very, very helpful to me. I thought about him a couple days ago because this fell out of my my van. It sits over here. It's basically, folks, this isn't all the money I have, but it's a good portion of it. I keep my dimes, nickels, and pennies in this container. And you can see plastics do degrade, by the way, under UV light and the salt air here in Florida. I'll throw that dollar over there. But I forgot the dollar was even in there. But anyways, I keep my dimes, pennies, and nickels in this jar. I'm going to transfer them into this empty container. You saw me consuming, one of my few alcoholic beverages. I'm going to keep them in here for now because it just happens to be handy. I will obtain another plastic container to transfer them to because plastic is much quieter. When I'm out, out and about. It's not that I'm trying to be sneaky from people or anything. I just don't want to disturb anybody else. And also, I'm filming and wildlife. And, when I'm filming wildlife, I don't want to accidentally kick this guy over that's sitting over here on the side of in my door, basically on the side of the seat, between the seat and the door. I don't want to be kicking that over and scare, or when I'm getting in and out, and so, and a bunch of people are sleeping in an RV park. I don't want this falling out. But for right now, it will work. So that's so I'm, I mean, this is the kind of thing. Now there we go. Now, folks, they stopped minting pennies. Don't tell you, it may not fit. I may not be able to use this. Let's see. Folks, I may not be able to use it. We'll just leave it there for right now. It's not fitting between the seat and the door. Anyways, might have to go back with something like this. But anyways, great friend. I got a mess here, but anyways, if you're trying to get rid of your change, and I'm not for cashless society. I actually encourage people to use more cash. These stupid places that want to force you to make a tip, or it appears so with their stupid little terminals, gratuity, and they're suggesting, 20, 30% tips, screw them. I say that with all, and I love bartenders and servers, but I will be happy to tip you 20, 30% if you're worth it. If you give me, take it for granted, service, well, you're going to get a take it for granted tip, like 5 or 10%. And if I'm walking up to a counter and I'm standing while I'm ordering, I don't think I should really leave much of a tip, folks, if I'm standing while I'm ordering, especially if I have to take the food away from that same counter when they call my ticket. I don't think that deserves a tip. Okay. It's just me. Now, if I order at the counter, like there's a patriotic kind of barbecue place, I can't remember the name of it now. It's in the Panhandle, Florida. Good food, by the way. I think it's also in the Space Coast area. Hey, really good barbecue. A little pricey, but it's good. They support a lot of veterans causes. Anyway, I wish I could remember the name of the place. But anyways, they bring the food to the table, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they just did for me. So I'm more than happy to provide a tip because I did order at the counter, but you brought it to me. Now, should I be tipping you 30% for that? Probably not. I don't know how much I tip, folks, but I'm always a good tipper. And by the way, folks, when you get a drink at a bar, always tip $1 for every single drink. They're making that drink. Even if they're just handing you a beer, they got to walk back and forth. Give them $1 every single time. I've been doing that since the 90s. Don't wait till the end of the night after you've had $30 worth of drinks or $50 worth of drinks with your buddies, and then give them $5. I mean, come on, give them $1 for each drink. Bartenders work hard. I worked as a bartender for several years. Okay, they work hard. But the same token is don't over tip your bartenders. To make your drink stronger or anything. I mean, come on. And bartenders, I'm sorry, but somebody who drinks too much and then throwing money, it's not pretty. It's not attractive, folks. It's not. And if you have a lot of money to spare and you're a multimillionaire and you want to give that bartender 100 tips, well, more power to you, and you should. And encourage them, not to blow it. And you can joke with them, tell them, well, you know what, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to try to be. I'm trying not ever to use profanity in my channel, folks, and be successful. And I want to brag about that. I think I've said that in a couple of my videos. Anyways, my video was about and getting rid of your change. Walmart. Go buy something you need, like toothpaste. Don't use that Coinstar crap. They take a percentage. It's your money. You earned it. And folks, also go through the coins real quick. And you can use AI now on your phone. Basically, it will tell you if that coin's worth anything. It will actually look at the coin and tell you if it's one of those coins you're supposed to be looking for. Now, it's going to take a little time, but do that with your change because you might have some money that's worth more than its face value. Take that change, your pennies, your nickels, dimes, quarters, halves, and if you have any dollars, I would hang on to those. But anyways, take those and use them to buy the toothpaste at Walmart when it's not busy. Don't use Coinstar. Use their self-checkout. Put all those pennies in there a couple at a time. If it miscounts one, who the heck cares? Okay, put them in. You'll get rid of your change, and then you're giving Walmart change to use. So many of us hoarded coins during COVID because we didn't want to get sick, and I was one of them. I would just tell the clerk, I was holding it with my gloves and my, my 4N95 mask, and I would say, and I would just have them, I'd say, just drop the change in the bag at the grocery store. And then I would tie the bag, plastic bag, at Publix or Winn-Dixie or, whatever. And then I would, when I got home, I would leave the bag sit. And I had all the refrigerator in one bag. I let the bag sit for a couple days. This is what I did with COVID. Let the bag sit for a couple days before I touched it, because I knew the incubation period of the virus in the air. And not just that, the survivability and all, I don't want to get into all the biological scientific stuff, but you get my point. Well, now I had all these bags, and I have got some of those in storage, folks. I probably have several $100s in bags somewhere in my storage, because after I removed the groceries, half the time I just left the money in the bag because I wasn't hurting back then. That may be in my storage units. I know it is. I know there's some of those bags. I need to get that stuff, folks. I can really use it right now. And now I'm hurting my arm again. Right? Anyways, I'm going to let it go at that. You can get rid of your coins and so forth. Walmart's a great place to do it. Use that self-serve checkout. Get rid of it. You get full face value. It's early morning, St. Johns County. I'm the Philosopher Pirate, and this is Florida at Large.